Welcome to TV Africa News. This is Africa Today. My name is Najuma Luima, but first at the headline. Government to conduct free vaccination in the country. Democratic Party asks government on kidnapped opposition supporters. Jean-Michel Sama Lukonde named new Democratic Republic of Congo Prime Minister. And in sports, Uganda Hippos make Dream Start Championships. Now the news in detail. The State Minister for Agriculture and Animal Industry, Honorable Bright Ramirama, has said that the government is going to start vaccinating animals in the districts hit by foot and mouth disease. Our reporter Nahabwe has more.
Addressing the press at the Uganda Media Center in Kampala on Tuesday, 16 February 2021, the State Minister for Agriculture and Animal Industry, Honorable Bright Ramirama, gave guidelines on how to go about the foot and mouth disease in the affected areas in the country. The minister said the affected areas include Chirihura, Kazo, Isinjiro, Wakiso, and Kampala. He cautioned Ugandans not to transport animals from the affected districts and disinfect trucks and farmers from the affected districts. The minister said that the government has purchased 3 million doses of vaccines at 13 billion Ugandan shillings to vaccinate the animals in the affected areas. Nahawe Kajura, TV Africa News.
Implement the effective farm biosafety measures such as 1. Have the infected animals isolated from the rest of the herd. Have his or her farm properly fenced. Not allow his animals like cattle, goats, sheep, or pigs to move out of his farm to other people's farms or grazing areas in common areas. To allow visitors to move freely and out of his or her farm. We have witnessed people having serious weddings in these affected areas, and that is the source of spread of this disease.
Moving on, the Democratic Party President General Honorable Norbert Mao has condemned the abductions of opposition supporters in the country and asked government for their immediate release. Nalugo has more.
Addressing journalists at the DP headquarters at City House in Kampala on Tuesday, 16 February 2021, DP President General Honorable Norbert Mao said the ongoing abduction in the country is uncalled for because it is a human rights violation. Mao also said the just concluded presidential elections were not free and fair and called upon the judges to investigate the frauds of the election process. Honorable Mao advised DP members to keep their hopes high, although they lost in the presidential elections, that one day DP will lead the country. For TV Africa News, Nalgo Muyingo reporting.
As DP, we are extremely concerned with the reported cases of abductions, kidnaps, unlawful arrests, illegal detentions, torture, and disappearances targeting opposition activists. Today, 16th of February, is St. Janani Luwum Day. I understand the President of Uganda is hosting a memorial service at State House. It is my expectation that the religious leaders gathered there will tell him the truth about the agony of the nation and condemn unequivocally the violence and other unlawful acts being perpetrated by agents of the government from the security forces.
Away from that, fishmongers operating at Reshama landing site along Lake Edward in Rukungiri district are demanding the withdrawal of UPDF soldiers deployed there as part of the Fisheries Protection Unit. Our reporter Kachanchu has more on this story.
The fishmongers at Rensama landing site said that the soldiers who have been kept there since 2018 are increasingly becoming harsh and suffocating their businesses. They are accusing them of harassing residents along tribal lines and barring even those who are involved in legal operations. Isaac Atinyinekabi, the Rwenshama Parish Councillor, said that for unclear reasons, the soldiers forced fishmongers to upgrade from 24 feet to 28.6 feet boats and ordered them to stop using 4.5-inch fishing nets and instead use 5 inches, which according to the fishermen are very expensive. Henry Chance, the vice chairperson of Rwensama Fishmongers Association, faults soldiers for stopping Ugandan fishermen from securing the release of their Congolese who have been arrested by Congolese security operatives. Bernard Beingana, the Uganda People's Defense Force Marine Operations Officer on Lake Edward, however, rubbishes the accusations as baseless, saying that whatever soldiers implement are in line with the Fisheries Directorate. TV Africa, I'm Kachanchu reporting.
Omujasi kyennyanja yali akirabanga kyennyanja naye kati atandise kirabamu ssente. Mwe mutaddemu ziri giraasi ezo, manyi giraasi baziyita lenses, nti amaaso bw'oba olwadde ng'olwadde amaaso bakuwa lenses ezisobola okulaba. Kati bali tebalina lenses ziri galubindi ezisobola okulabamu ekyennyanja ng'akirabamu ssente, ezo bali tebaziyina. Ne bwe mubawadde galubindi ez'okutandika okulaba ekyennyanja ng'akirabamu ssente. So tusaba nti butuwe abantu abeesimbu kubanga ffe twagala kukola mirimu. Nesinga otuwa abantu abakyamu, abantu abalina galubindi ezitunulamu ekyennyanja ng'akirabamu ssente, galubindi ezo agenda ziwa omujaasi naye azambale. Ekyennyanja bw'agenda okwasa envuba embi ye aba alaba ssente, talaba nvuba mbi.
Moving on, the Constitutional Court has dismissed a petition challenging the actions of the Directorate of Public Prosecutions to withdraw tax evasion charges against 12 senior executives of MTN Uganda Limited. We have more. In a majority decision of 4 justices against 1, the justices, in a decision written by Justice Ezekiel Muhanguzi, have dismissed the petition filed by Were Napto, a logistics officer at MTN, on grounds that there was nothing constitutional to interpret. In 2012, Were Napto instituted a private prosecution at Buganda Road Chief Magistrates Court against a group of 12 senior executives of MTN Uganda Limited for alleged tax evasion, false declaration and conspiracy to commit the same, which he said they were contrary to the East African Customs Management Act 2004. However, the accused persons applied for revision in the High Court, challenging the decision to issue and extend the criminal summons to them. The High Court, which had set aside the decision to issue and extend criminal summons to them, upheld the order directing the DPP to conduct the prosecution of the case. However, on March 12, 2013, the DPP, then Richard Butera, withdrew charges against them and the case was dismissed a day later, which prompted the aggrieved Were to petition the Constitutional Court seeking a declaration for a fair hearing. Let's take a very quick short break. We will be right back. In our international news today, Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi has appointed Jean-Michel Sama Lukonde as a new Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Our reporter Nalugo has more.
The President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, has appointed Mr. Sama Lukonde Chenge, 43, as the new Prime Minister of the country. Sama Chenge was until Monday the General Director of the State Mining Company, the country's mining flagship project, a position to which he was appointed by Tshisekedi in June 2019. Lukonde was also once a sports minister and a former party member of the ex-Katanga governor and wealthy businessman Moise Katumbi. He had switched allegiance from Katumbi to Tshisekedi, led the party in 2018. Tshisekedi, who took office in January 2019, has been frustrated by a coalition government with Kabila's allies who won parliamentary majorities in the same election. Tshisekedi now hopes to form a new majority in parliament by winning over members of Kabila's coalition. For TV Africa News, Nalgo Muyingo reporting.
Myanmar's military has repeated its promise to hold new elections and relinquish power as anti-coup protests that started on 1st February continue across the country. We have more with Nahabu.
According to the army spokesman, Brigadier General Zo Min Tun, the military took control after alleged voter fraud, though he did not provide any evidence. He also said a second criminal charge had been filed against the detained opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi. The military has heightened its presence on the streets and deployed armored vehicles in several cities in recent days in further signs of a potential crackdown on opposition demonstrations. In the military's first news conference since toppling the government, the military spokesman Zo Min Tun said the armed forces would not remain in power for long and promised to hand power back to the winning party following a planned election. For TV Africa News, Nalgo Muyingo reporting.
Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News, the right to know. In our business news today, Uganda's Kira Motors Corporation is working with reputable strategic partners to produce 30,000 buses for the regional market with 65% parts and components localized by 2030. We have more. Kira Motors and the partners plan to produce and deploy 1,030 buses by the end of 2021, 50 of which will be electric. The initiative is aimed at modernizing public transport in the urban centers in Uganda and beyond, while building the indigenous motor vehicle industry through technology transfer and localization of auto parts manufacturing. According to Alan Muhumuza, the Director Marketing and Sales at Kira Motors Corporation, Kampala and other cities in the region have for decades faced challenges of road and traffic congestion, pollution, unemployment resulting in too low fuel economy, poor air quality, which they intend to solve through this development. Kira Motors Corporation builds on the successful development of the Kayola electric and diesel buses built through technology transfer and utilizing the facilities and resources at the UPDF National Enterprise Corporation, Luweero Industries in Nakasongola. Health news today, Zimbabwe has received the first 200,000 doses of coronavirus vaccines donated by China on Monday in the capital Harare and awaits more 600,000 doses that are said to arrive in early March. We have more with Nahabwe.
According to Zimbabwe Information Minister Monica Mutsvangwa, Zimbabwe will pay the second batch of the vaccines from China National Pharmaceutical Group. While receiving the vaccines, Zimbabwe's Vice President Constantino Chiwenga said that the frontline health workers would be the first to be vaccinated. Zimbabwe has set aside $1 million for vaccine procurement and is looking to buy $20 million in efforts to immunize about 60% of its population and achieve herd immunity. Finance Minister Muthuli Ncube said around 1.8 million vaccine doses would be acquired from China, though he did not give further details. The The country has so far reported close to 35,000 confirmed cases of the virus and nearly 1,400 deaths. Nahawi Kajura, TV Africa News.
In our sports news today, Uganda's Hippos made a brilliant start to the 2021 Toto Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations, registering a win in the opening game against Mozambique on Monday. Our reporter Kachanchu has more on this story.
Hippos striker Derek Kakoza and second-half substitute Steven Serwadda scored a goal each to guide Uganda to victory. Both Kakoza and Bogere forced the Mozambique goalkeeper to make fine saves, while Basangwa had his effort to go off target by a few inches. The Hippos head coach Molebio Kwaso said this excellent performance will create confidence amongst players. Uganda Hippos will return to action on Wednesday against Cameroon, who won 1-0 against hosts Mauritania. For TV Africa, I'm Kachanchu Mtabazi reporting.
First game in the tournament is not always easy. That's why even yesterday we didn't see a lot of goals coming. People are always nervous, scary, taking decisions is always difficult. Players tend to panic. That's why you saw first half all teams were beat down, but due to the grace of God, we came back. We told them to play with intensity because we needed to lift our game. So intensity was the key to us. It really helped us to come back into the game.
Now, before we end our news bulletin today, let's take a recap of our top stories. Government to conduct free vaccination in the country. Democratic Party asks government on kidnapped opposition supporters. Jean-Michel Sama Lukonde named new Democratic Republic of Congo Prime Minister. And in sports, Uganda Hippos make Dream Start Championships. That was the news. Thank you for always tuning in to TV Africa. Please do stay tuned. More programming coming your way.
This is Africa, and that was the news.